Yo, keep in mind tonight, 9 p.m. That is today is what, August 7th, and I will be playing the beta of the Avengers game. I believe it's only 4 hours if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be playing that in its entirety, starting at about 9 p.m. Central Time. The stream will start at 8:45 p.m. Central Time. So if you're watching this early, before the stream, be sure to go there, hit the notification. YouTube's not going to remind you. Or just stop by. Just stop by the page and I'll see you there. I'm really excited to play it. Today, though, this video, we're going to kind of talk about this. Look, when it comes to the testing with COVID-19, to act like the numbers have just been, as far as deaths and cases, which are the only numbers that people pay attention to now because flatten the curve no longer is a thing. But when it comes to those numbers, I think you're fooling yourself and you're being really dishonest with the people in your geographical area if you treat the reported numbers as if those are just not even up for dispute. We've covered a multitude of different cases where the tests have, this is more not even just a test per se, but more the reporting of it, right? And how, like, for example, Fox 35 in Orlando, I believe, had uncovered that, you had these spots with these labs with like 100% positivity rate. So when you look at that, obviously that doesn't make sense. And then journalists, they do their job, and then they uncover that, wait a minute, these numbers are kind of funky. And then the labs obviously get caught or whatever, and the public health gets caught, and they're having to adjust the numbers, remove numbers, add numbers, correct them because a journalist did this. Now you can imagine if the journalists actually did their job around the entire world and the entire nation, and they probably uncover a lot of funny stuff when it comes to these numbers. We also had the case uncovered by the same individuals over at Fox 35 that a motorcycle accident had been reported as a COVID-19 death. Now that doesn't make sense. But this here, and obviously that comes with the reporting. This here comes with the test itself, which we talked a little bit about it, but not in much detail. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, I believe is how you say his name, announced Thursday afternoon that he had tested positive for coronavirus, but said that he had tested negative for COVID-19 later in the evening. So what had happened was a PCR test was administered to the governor and members of his staff this afternoon. The PCR test looks for the specific RNA of SARS-CoV-2, in other words, the genetic material specific for the virus that causes COVID-19. The PCR test is known to be extremely sensitive and as well as specific for the virus. The PCR test for the governor, first lady, and the staff will run twice. They came back negative the first time and came back negative when they were ran for a second time. And it says, as a part of standard protocol, agreed, they had to test them and so forth. He's saying now that he doesn't have any symptoms as well. But basically, he tests positive and then he tested negative, right? And, obviously we've talked about before the false positives that have been given surrounding these tests. And look, I think at this point we have to accept, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I think at this point we have to accept that the numbers are not honest. And we really don't know, to be fair, one way or the other. We really just don't know. Wow, my face is like greasy as hell right now. It's that oil, beard shining. Nonetheless, what we're seeing is just, it's unfortunate because people are building entire policies, status, your government are building policies surrounding this entire thing. So the numbers, they look at the numbers and say, oh, there's an increase in cases. So we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do all of these different things. And it's like, if the numbers aren't accurate, which is more so what I'm speaking to, right? If the numbers aren't accurate, how can you build such policy? Which again is destroying a lot of people's lives, livelihoods. When you consider the lockdowns and the building, all of the now those shouldn't exist anyway. But you look at how criminal it is, especially when the data's inaccurate. The data's inaccurate. It's just simply inaccurate. There's too many reported cases of this happening where there's a lot of false positives. I think it's a decent amount of percentage of them are coming out to be false positives. And then you go to the reporting elements and the errors that are happening there. At what point do you concede that, okay, there's a problem here? And that problem is that we really don't know. Yet we are building entire policies. Man, my face is shining. I kind of like it though. Makes me glow. But no, like the building entire policies around this, and it's off of inaccurate data, and we just simply don't know. And I think that's the problem in itself, is that, you know, we have these tickers. Everybody's looking to see how many more cases, deaths, all the deaths associated with COVID-19. Are they not? And everybody's just monitoring this as they do these mass form of testing, which we've never done for really anything in modern history, where you're just testing everybody. Like you can't even go to the damn doctor in a lot of places without getting tested. You go to something completely unrelated, get your leg broken, they test you for the damn virus. You could imagine if they were doing that for every other virus, bacteria or what have you, and running these tests, probably come out with all kinds of stuff in you, and the numbers would reflect that. But my issue with this more so is the fact that there's one size fits all policies that having to be applied to all these geographical areas, which obviously is putting people out of work. We know all of this, and they're doing all of this with inaccurate data. That's my problem. They point to the numbers this, the numbers that, and then when the numbers look like this, we can do like, and it's arbitrary, obviously. But the fact that the numbers are not accurate is criminal, because you're building a policy off of what you don't really even understand. And this is why once this one size fits all approach was always the wrong approach. It's not even just because the data is inaccurate. It's just because certain things work for certain people. This virus is not impacting all demographics the same way. Obviously, there's a certain demographic that are more vulnerable to have severe reactions. And for us to sit up here and you know, you look at that, you look at the fact that the data is inaccurate, misreporting, misanalyzing of the data in general. And when you look at that and you take all of that into consideration, and they continue to kick the can down the road. It's August the 7th, bro. Y'all remember 15 days to slow the spread? Y'all remember that? And we don't even know if we don't even know what the actual numbers are. Like, what is slow the spread to what? And then, like, even if they were to answer that, it's like, how can you prove that that's even the reality of the situation when you consider how inaccurate the data is? It's getting out of hand, man. Well, not getting out of hand. It's been out of hand. What the hell am I talking about?